Welcome back, guys. In this new video, I will be showing you how to draw an ellipse by the arc of circle method. The principle here is a little interesting. The principle here is pretty much is that you first establish your horizontal and your vertical major and minor axis. Then you find the focal point. That is found by drawing an arc or drawing a circle with a radius half the major axis. At a point with that cut to center, you get your focal point. The next step is to mark off an equal number of spaces from one of the focal point to the center and divide that into a number of equal parts. Then use circle or arc from A to A1 and B to B1, B to B to 1, from A to 1 and B to 1. So you use circular arc, then you use F, then you move, open your draw a circle or arc that distance. In the case I use circle. So draw a circle with A1, radius A1 and B1, then move it to F1 and then F2. At the point where they meet, I simply draw a line through both intersection to get the first point. And I progress from A to 2 and B to 2 with F1 and F2 as centers and plot those points pretty much. To plot those points, I simply draw a line from the point where they meet, and that pretty much acts as a plot. So it creates a pattern, and then I simply use spline to create the ellipse around that. So that basically covers the technique here. Let's get into business. So my first step here is to establish my center, and the major axis here is 130, minor is 60. So I'll turn on my ortho mode, left click here, drag 60, 60, enter, then move across here, 130, 130, enter. Then I left click here, grip the middle, bring this down to the center. That part is now done. My next step is to find the focal point. So for that, I'll change to my construction layer. I use circle. Note I do not use arcs. Arcs is time consuming and cause too much problem. Now, they're saying that the radius of the circle should be half the major axis, which is pretty much the diameter for this. Then I grip this, move this up to the top of the minor axis, and at the point where those touch is my focal point. So I'll use point POINT, enter, and I'll drop one point here. Space bar to reactivate, drop one more point there. Those are done. Now I can delete this. That's done. My next step is to label, and for this I'm going to use wall white black for the change. I then go up to text, click big A single, then click here, start point. Want the text height of 4, enter. Rotation angle of 0, so I press enter to accept that. And all caps is on. Click there for A, click here for B. Here is my F1, F1. Here is point F2. Click out there and escape, and that's it. I want to bring this down a bit. Now that part is done. Well, next step is to draw a line between F1 or F2 and the midpoint. The next step is to mark off equal number of parts here. But the reality is, well, the book says that, but in reality, you don't necessarily need it to make them exactly equal. So I will not be using the what most book recommends. So I go back to point, P-O-I-N-T, point. Then I'm gonna click here as my first point, spacebar to reactivate, and I'm gonna track this from here over to this point, and then just click where seems to be the midpoint between these 2 points. Spacebar. If you want to be, I mean, crazy accurate, you could divide that line into 4 or 5 equal parts. But I know that it doesn't really matter seriously. Yeah. My next step is to label these points 1, 2, and 3. And so I go to text right here, text single line, click here, text height of 4, enter, angle that, and then this is 1, 2, 3, and 4 is right here. Click OK, and that's it. Yeah. Bring this down a little bit. So we have those. Now we will be transferring some distance. So F1 and F2 is our focused points. So after transferring this distance, we will be moving it to F1 and F2. My next step is to change to a different layer, as I like to use separate color to make things easier. So my first step is to click the endpoint of this, and then bring this down to, well, F1 would end up there with F1, then spacebar for circle from here to F1 to 1, sorry. My next step is to move this now up to F. Move this up to F right there. That's the first one. Then move this up to the focal points as well. And here is where the magic happens. My next step is to draw a line from this intersection to that intersection to get the symmetrical part of it. So I'll draw a line here, a next line here, and that first point is done. My next step, I like to use different color layers for these. Right, it's okay. My next step is to bring this back to A from point A, then drag this up to 2, and then do the same thing across here. In like manner, we go across here, bring this back to B, then drag this down to 2, and then I now bring these up, both of them back to their respective focal points. That is focal point. This is to be moved up to its focal point as well. So grip here and wrong thing I'm moving. Click here, grip this, grip and hold, bring this there, and then go to line, draw a line from this intersection down to that intersection, and that's done. So you can see, you already see the pattern being created. So we're creating a curve right here. And for this, we don't need to do more than half of this, and then mirror. So we bring this out to the end of the line, and then grip this up to 3, click onto this, and bring this out to 3. Then click this, bring this again up to the focal point, the respective focal point, So remember now that we have to follow the pattern and the technique. Then draw a line again where both circles intersect, which is that point. And all right, let me check to ensure that we did everything right. Something seems to be off here. Um, so this is 3. Let me bring this back to 3 to see what is what. 3 there. Bring 3 up to this. And bring 3 up to this. And that is, so 3 is good right there. Now let me bring this back to 2. And bring this down to 2. Alright, those are 2. Grip this to the F focal point. And bring this up to the focal point. Oh, so this one was drawn at the wrong place. So there. Oh, ooh, undo. So that one was drawn at the wrong place. Yeah. All right. So this is the point for it. And I think we don't need to do it anymore, or we could just bring this back here to the other point, bring this back to here, and then this go up to 4, and bring this back to B, bring this back to B, and this should be up to B right there. This one should end up right on the minor axis. Yeah, that one does. This one as well. So we don't need to go any further. We don't need to draw anymore. That is good. Our next step now is to plot. So we could mirror this. We could draw half of this, or we could mirror this. I like to mirror these. MI for mirror. Enter. So the good thing about AutoCAD is that you don't need to draw for symmetrical objects. You don't need to draw all the points. You simply draw half and then mirror the other half, and you're good to go. All right. So I didn't even need to draw these. I didn't need to mirror these either. I could simply draw half of this, but well, to get a nice smooth curve, it is sometimes better to do that. Yeah. So outline uh SPL, find enter, and I'm gonna start. I like to start a little distance here, then go up, ensure that author is off, and go all the way around to that point, then come back to here, back to here, then to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, enter. And that is, there we go. We have generated this from that. So there we go. Yep.